Well, how is everybody doing? Man, I've been catching grief for not getting some videos out these last few weeks, and I apologize. I have been busy. I'm getting stuff ready for our Michigan trip that's coming up. The 20th of October, we're leaving on that. I think I might do like a daily vlog type thing on that one. It's me and my 3 brothers are going to go out and hunt whitetail. It should be a high chance for success, and it might be a fun video to do, just like a daily vlog type thing, because I think there'll be some fun video there. And I've just been making knives and getting some work around the house done. I've had to do a lot of traveling. Took my son up to Rexburg to go to college, and went to some training with my wife and did some stuff like that. So anyway, I've been busy, and I literally have not taken a hike in a month. And yeah, it's killing me. So I really shouldn't even be going today, but the dogs have been just dying to go. And I got up this morning, I was like, you know what, I'm going out for at least a little while. And where I'm going is not going to be just a little while. But anyway, so here we go. We're heading out. I wanted to, while I had a minute here, as I'm driving, address something that I just saw on Instagram this morning. And I actually didn't read a ton of the backstory, but this topic comes up in everything from my reloading pages to hunting pages to all that stuff, and that is caliber choice. Specifically this morning, they were talking about a 6.5 Creedmoor for elk. Would you use this caliber for elk? And I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. It's something that comes up quite a bit. Some of you that have some of those questions, everybody seems to be very opinionated about this. Now, I think that you need to differentiate between will this kill an elk, and is this the best possible tool I have to kill an elk? Because, I mean, you could kill an elk conceivably with a 22 long rifle. Nobody's going to argue that a 22 long rifle is an appropriate rifle for hunting elk. But you could. My perspective on this comes from a lifetime of hunting. I can think of 3 instances, well, 4 off the top of my head. Fox with a 17 HMR. 17 HMR, my least favorite caliber of all time. Saw a fox at 80 yards, shot it, boom, pop, it rolled, started running. I shot again, boom, pop, it rolled, and then we watched it run clear out of sight. Never dropped it, just got away. I gave away the 17 HMR the next day. That wasn't, I had multiple experiences with that happening on coyotes and everything else. Now, I know everybody else says, oh, I love the 17 HMR. Not enough caliber for anything but a prairie dog, way too expensive for that, worthless caliber. Number 2, I was helping somebody on a deer hunt. We got in on the deer that they were trying to get, and I got kind of thrown into the middle of it, so I didn't have a whole lot. Usually this would be something I would discuss with somebody before we even hunted, but I looked down and he's loading in, he's got a, this one was a 223, and I said, you're shooting a 223? Now, I mean, shoot, 223, they use those to kill, humans in war, right? Plenty, right? Yeah, I'm shooting a 223. Okay. About, I don't know, 150, 180 yard shot. Boom, he shoots. Deer drops. He's all razzing me. Yeah, you didn't think the 223 was enough caliber. No, good job, nice shot. We kind of get our stuff gathered up there at the vehicle, walk out to where the deer was, and it's gone. Gone. Never saw it, not one drop of blood, nothing. About a year after that, I'm with somebody else. We get out there, just general season rifle tag. We see a monster buck, well over 30 inches wide. And he's going to shoot it, and I look over and he's got a 22-250. Like, you're shooting a 22-250? Now, in all honesty, I had seen this person shoot a cow elk with a 22-250 and buckle it in its tracks. So, you could argue, oh, the 22-250 is a great elk rifle. Nah. Anyway, same thing. He shoots, hits the side of this deer, blows a big flap of fur up, and the deer runs off, and we spent 3 days looking for a deer that we never found. Next scenario, my first ever elk that I killed when I first started hunting elk with a rifle. I owned one rifle. I had a 270. Killed lots of deer with that rifle. Took it elk hunting. Shot my first elk with it. Did a fine job. The next year, took another elk with it. Did a fine job. The third year, I got a spike elk, 80 yards, broadside. Doesn't know I'm there. It's feeding. Take a dead rest on a tree. Put the crosshairs right on his crease of his shoulder. Pull the trigger. That thing, it hit him. He starts doing that death run where it looks like every stride he's just going to buckle. And I could have put another bullet in him, but it looked like every step he was just going to go down. He was going to go down. He was going to go down, and he kept going and going and going. Never found him. Never found that bull. That bull died someplace. That was the day that I went, you know what? Yeah, the 270 is great. And yeah, the 270 can kill elk. That elk would have been dead on the ground right there with a little bit more rifle. And that wasn't even like a challenging distance or a challenging angle or any sort of a difficult situation. That was just not quite enough rifle in that instance, and that should have been within my you know, the realm of things that I took care of. We owe it to the animal and we owe it to the hunt, especially if you have a limited entry hunt. If you are using less rifle than you can safely and accurately shoot, you know, the best rifle you can afford, the best rifle you can shoot well, you're doing injustice to the animal, you're doing injustice to the hunt, and you're setting yourself up to possibly have a crappy day. I think elk calibers, if we want to talk about that, start at 30-06 is the bare minimum. I wouldn't shoot a 30-06 at an elk. Why? I don't have to. I mean, back in that day, I owned a 270. Well, the next year, I saved up the money and bought a 300 Weatherby. Killed elk with a 300 Weatherby. I think that's a great rifle for elk. I now pretty much use a 300 Win Mag just because that's my favorite rifle right now to shoot on elk, and that's what I've used the last few times. It's excellent. Now I understand if you got like a 90-pound daughter that's going to be hunting elk for her first time, that's a little bit different scenario. 300 Weatherby mag is not going to make her like the hunt very much. However, you can practice and get her used to recoil, you know, with a 270, 243, 22, 250. Get them used to shooting, and they don't have to shoot a ton with the rifle they're going to shoot. I would say in that case you would want to lead toward more like a 7 mag or a 300 with a little bit less case capacity. The 300 Savage, something like that, as the bottom end of what you would consider for that. But anyway, I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are. I see this all the time, and I always think there's a half a dozen, I won't call them morons, even though I'll think that say, oh, the 6.5 Creedmoor is an excellent elk rifle. My uncle's brothers killed 70 elk with it. Just because it has killed something doesn't mean it's the best possible tool for the job. Use the best tool for the job. If it's the best you can afford, that's all you got. You don't have another option, so why are we even discussing caliber? But most of us have it within, I got, a gun safe with, every possible caliber I could want. I reach in and get the 300 Win Mag because it's never let me down, and it's going to give me a little bit extra on those angles that aren't perfect, the elk that moves at the last second, where the shot placement isn't exactly the way I want, maybe the wind gusted, all these things that can happen that are beyond our control. The thing that we have the most control over is what we're shooting, and we ought to use the wisest decision on that. If you disagree, I'd like to hear. If you agree, then let me know. Now, without further ado, we're gonna go out here and find some antlers and hopefully have a good day. Honey, you gonna find some antlers today? Well, I kind of thought we'd bump into some snakes today, but there we go. Just that quick, it's gone. Well, I was hoping to get a little bit better video than that. Well, we've started. Up here walking some benches. And let's see, there's lots of deer sign, lots of deer tracks. See if we can't turn something up. We got one. All right, Jeremy, this one's for you. You're the one that made me come out this morning. No, and he just found it. Good girl, bring it here. Good dog. You remembered, good girl. Hey, hard white, good girl. What is that? Good doggy, good dog, good dog. Oh, she's a good girl. Find another one. Find the other one. Just a big two. Look at the hook on that beam. Pretty cool. Heck, that might even be this year. Probably is, no cracking on it. Good girl. Find another one, find another one. See if we can't turn up the match. Jeremy kicked me in the butt yesterday and told me to get out here and make him a video. So there you go, bud. Thanks. Adam's kind of hidden there. There it is. She's a good girl. There's one. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah. Good girl. Good dog. Another two. Another 2 point. And that kind of thicker brush, had to walk right up on it. Well, I made the mistake this morning. I just grabbed a pair of boots out of the closet and I accidentally grabbed these Cabela's Mendels, the Blister Factory 1000s. And I've already got blisters on my heels. I mean, I had blisters within about 3 miles of starting. So I've stopped and put Band-Aids on my heels, but it's not helping. So I'm actually gonna have to start looping back. But man, all this country, this looks so good. Keep hoping any minute we're gonna walk up on something big. But there's another one. Having a good hike. Keep fingers crossed, come up on something big on the way out. You guys remember this antler right here? We found this last year. That buck right there with that crazy cheater. Well, turns out we found out that Parker's brother Luke had found the other side. So look at that. It's got the squirty cheaters both sides. That mass all the way to the top, both sides. Them giant eye guards both sides. So there's that buck.
That's a sweet one.
Just a heavy, massive, cool buck.
Heck yeah.
So that set right there needs to be together. Luke, as long as you promise not to sell that one without selling it to me.
Right.
Have that set. Hold it up.
Yeah, dude.